Okay, folks, Mending Fences was Sistas Season 6, Episode 6, and somebody over at Amazon Prime probably goofed up, but regardless, this episode was available to purchase yesterday morning, and I didn't find out about the, news about this until around yesterday afternoon. People were like, yo, Jeremy, did you see this clip? And I'm like, oh, did they put out a sneak peek clip? No, the episode's already out. I'm like, wait a minute, is that the end credit trailer? What's going on? And yeah, Amazon Prime posted it. So I legally bought and watched the episode hours before it aired. And I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. What's my score? 22 out of 10. Yes, I am giving it a 22. If you watch a live stream, then you know why I did it. I think overall the acting for this episode was on point. I ain't gonna hold you. The way Tamara went down on Hayden at work is a factor in all of this, but I think that the closing scene with Roberta Porter coming over to the law firm to talk with Andy and by extension Fatima, it stole the show. The acting, the nonverbal reactions to her story, from Fatima and Andy was on point. This episode was everything. I really enjoyed it. And I cannot remember the last time I said that about an episode of Sistas, folks. This is worth the price of admission. I know a lot of people ain't messing with the show currently due to Zach, going back and forth with Karen and Fatima, but I think this is one of the strongest episodes that I've seen in quite some time. So we're going to jump into the review. I shouldn't be here too long because, to be honest, the episode is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to hang on the Q stuff that long. This is the last video, kind of like last week. This is my last video I need to record. I did all of my discussion videos and the trailer breakdown before, pretty much to save the review for last, since it's typically the longest one. But let's talk about some of the B stories first, like the C, B, D stories, that kind of stuff. So first off, Gary calls Hayden just to let him know, I'm still working on it, trying to find information on who this Tamara chick is, and I'll let you know as soon as I find something. Later on in the episode, we actually have Fatima confronting Tamara at the front desk, like, what are you doing here? And it's like, I'm here to meet him. And I'm thinking, yeah, Fatima, it's not uncommon for her to come around and see him for lunch and everything. And she freaks at the sight of that wedding ring, and she's like, you know what, but wait, you told me to get him. Well, not like this. You know what, this is too much. I don't want anything to do with this. Don't call me no more. Don't update me no more. And I'm thinking to myself, but Fatima, my thing is this. Back in, what was it, the season 3 finale, you took out a set of brass knuckles and beat the hell out of Hayden before sicking, what was it, like 3 guys on him to beat him to an inch of his life, left unconscious and stripped on the hood of his car. Yet you think that Tamara marrying him to take his money is going too far. And I still hold to the thing that, to my thought that these two are actually going to fall in love and stay married, but that's just me. I don't know. Some people are like, well, Jeremy, the reason that Fatima's like, it's gone too far is because, her mom and Hayden's mom know each other. And I'm like, okay, but does she know that her son was almost killed by Fatima's hired thugs? I'm just sitting here like, what the hell's going on? I mean, I don't know. But in any case, and look, truth be told, I'm rooting for these two. I can't believe I'm rooting for Hayden and Tamara. And it's crazy because, remember, he tried to destroy Zach's life multiple times, but here we are with this nut job falling in love. So what can you say about it? So when she goes to his office, before he can even mention how I think we need to get this annulled because he has the paperwork and everything, she mentions how, what, hey, we're living life on the edge. I need to meet your parents. You need to meet my parents. And then she goes down on him at the office. And I'm like, you lucky bastard. Gary comes over saying, hey, I got these files. I'm still looking up some information, but here's what I do have on you girls. Like, no. And to be fair, Hayden tried to warn his ass multiple times. Look, just give me a minute. Don't come around that corner. Gary came and he got scarred for life. And somebody joked around like, Tamara's been down there. But remember, Hayden was wearing a sock last time. So I don't know if he's wearing something on it right now to cover up, the size. But regardless, it was hilarious. So I did like that. All right, so at the beginning of the episode, we do have a scene where, it's just basically Sabrina, Maurice, and Calvin freaking out at the possibility of 15 years. I am glad Calvin was kind of the voice of reason here. It's like, look. Just calm down. The guy pretty much laid it out in terms of here's what could happen, but I want to do whatever I can in order to fight the case because I have another meeting. I got to go right now. And it just turned into a pity party where Maurice is like, go ahead and blame me. I know you want to. And it's like, first of all, this is all your fault. Secondly, this isn't the time to be pointing fingers. If there was ever a time to cut the bullshit, stop the crying, Sabrina, stop being, a smart ass, Maurice. Sit down, talk about your options. That's the one thing I've really not liked. Well, I've not liked this entire storyline, but that's the one thing that got me. I'm like, if these knuckleheads would just sit down and have a conversation, Maurice, drop the damn sarcasm. Let's talk about the facts. We can present a strong case. I've never seen anybody sit down and think, hey, let's try to work it out to get a strong case. It's always been, let's go talk to Q. Let's try to get a confession. And it's like, that's not going to work. It's like, first of all, Calvin. All right, kind of like how I compared the whole Tamara marrying Hayden and Fatima acting like that's worse than what she did to him. It's like Calvin talking to Maurice about, like, killing Q. It's like, you are not going to kill that boy. And I'm like, but Calvin, you beat him to within an inch of his life with that damn golf club to get a confession. Then Maurice tried to confront him. He ended up getting shot. Then he went to the hospital trying to appeal to Q's humanity. He wasn't buying it. Hey, I'm going to have you killed. And I'm just like, would it really be that big of a deal? Like Danny told Sabrina, hey, no face, no case. And Sabrina's on the phone crying. And like I've said time and time again, if these characters use any common sense, wouldn't it be like Sabrina going, you know what? Hey, here's my ticket to freedom. I was the one that botched the entire robbery by calling the cops or calling the other branch of the bank in order to inform them about the cops so they can come bust up the robbery. So if I was really a mastermind behind this bank robbery, why would I have been the one to ruin it? You know what, Miss Hollins, you have a point. Charges are dropped against you and you get your job back. Maurice, on the other hand, it'll take a lot of convincing to confirm his innocence, but we're talking about Sabrina here. So she opts to go over to the airport to talk with Q. And like I said in the video where I talked about the scene itself, the acting was on point. Novi really brought a convincing performance where you feel, for her character. And as someone who, struggled to get through college financially myself, I can relate to working to put yourself through school and whatnot. And then, some just piece of just asshole with no sense of morality or caring the world for anyone but himself. Like, just because you had a hard life means you just can throw anybody under the bus. It's like, When she's like, why are you doing this? You think I deserve this? What, do you think I do? Nigga, you robbed a bank. What the hell do you think? It's like the order of operations with this entire storyline makes no sense. I mean, Q as an actor, I think the actor does a great job with the character. Don't get me wrong. I think the actor that plays Q does a great job because we're meant to think like this dude is trash and we hate him. At least I do. But to just sit here, I mean, well, yeah, he's in a wheelchair, so he kind of has no choice. But to just act like anybody is supposed to feel sorry for him, and this has been a running thing with his character, like anytime somebody kind of confronts him or calls him out on his bullshit, he acts like, I had a long day, I ain't got time for this. You just ruined my life. You're going to sit here, well, you're not going to roll away from me. You're going to sit here and take what I got to say. And yeah, we do know that Sabrina's words eventually get through to him, but when she's like, I forgive you, I'm just sitting here like, I mean, you say that now, Sabrina, but what if you go to court and lose and you got to do 15 years? I mean, is that forgiveness still going to be valid? I just feel like at this point, like, that's why I really like Danny in this episode. She was just speaking nothing but truth. It was like, Sabrina, like, just stop. There's nothing you could do at this point. But like I said earlier in the video, what these characters need to do is sit down and try to come up with a strong case. All they're doing is, hey, you know what? Here are the charges, but here's this recorded confession. Sabrina hasn't once sat down with Andy. I feel like that's the biggest mix-up of the entire storyline. There was just way too much time spent with trying to get Maurice out of jail as opposed to, hey, Maurice, as opposed to trying to pay a near impossible $1.5 million bail. why don't we sit down, or why don't I sit down with either, not Andy, but one of these other lawyers, try to work out a, case, that way we can win in the off chance we do have to go to court, because just based on Q's record alone and his personality, it's highly unlikely he's going to come forward and tell the truth. So yeah, there's that. But like I said, very great scene. Novi gave a very good performance, but I just feel like if there is any chance that Tyler is going to try to redeem Q, I am not going to like it at all. So from there, and look, I'm trying to get through everything but the Karen and Zach and Fatima stuff, but I think I just did. Yeah, Sabrina, Danny. Yeah, I talked about all that stuff. So the episode starts off with Fatima arriving at the salon, and she sees with her own eyes that Karen kisses Zach on the cheek. I will get back to that. So as soon as she comes up and asks for a moment to talk to Zach alone, Karen's going to say, well, this is my salon, and eventually she does back down so they can talk, but it really is all business. Fatima dropped by because, she got the information about the lawyer that can help with the Michael case. So from there, Zach notices the lack of a ring, doesn't want to kiss, allow him to kiss her on the cheek. She just bounces, and I'm like, wow, Fatima. So from there, you got Aaron pretty much step into Zach, and I'm like, okay, so, Aaron's wearing the hazmat suit, not just to pick up trash, but also to talk trash as well. Essentially, it's just a dick measuring contest. He wants to, so what's going on, man? You playing tennis with these girls, you're stringing them both along. Aaron's just hating. That's pretty much what it is. And Zach is being petty. I mean, I will agree. I mean, if you're really done with Karen, just be done with Karen. But, I mean, it's just the fact that, go back to last week's episode in the last few minutes. Like, you'll notice the moment Zach pulls up, Aaron just kind of rolls his eyes. He's like, shit. Like, I've been here for hours picking up trash, and now this man comes up and just throws away all the progress I made with Karen. But I don't feel bad for him, because go back to, what was it, the week before, or episode 6 or 5, when Karen literally told you, or Aaron's like, I love you, right? Thank you. Wow. Drive safe. You're the one that showed up and tried, picking up trash and shit. I think he picked up like half a dozen bags of trash. Aaron, just stop already. She ain't feeling you like that. So from there, and like I said, you got a cute moment between him and Karen. It's just a short moment where they're talking. I think this was one of my favorite Pam moments, because, she running her mouth and it's like, I know there's Zatima, but Zachrin. And like, first, I mean, what's that Mean Girls quote? Stop trying to make Zachrin happen, Pam. It's never going to happen. To stop trying to make it a thing, it's not going to happen. And I'm just sitting here like, I mean, a spinoff would be interesting, but only in the sense of, okay, make it take place prior to season 1 to show how these two met up. But I thought it was a great scene. Zach showing concern for the baby for once. I'm glad that he mentioned that, for the baby. Don't go in there because all them fumes and whatnot. So, they checking out the damages and everything. So from there, he asks, hey, let's go somewhere and talk, which leads into the promo for next week, which I've already done a video on. But I thought it was sweet because we haven't seen Ebony and Deval in a relatively calm scene with each other since, like, what was it, season 3 mid-season finale, when they had the clean split at the salon. But regardless, from there, we go over to Fatima and Andy. Fatima's upset about the whole situation. She hands off the paperwork to Andy about the lawyer that can help out with Zach's son. And she mentions how, and this is the part that pisses me off, I went to the salon and Zach was kissing Karen. Fatima, you were a mere few feet away. I'm thinking, and somebody pointed this out, well, Jeremy, in her mind, she probably saw Zach kissing Karen because, seeing it in real time is just like seeing that photo that was taken at the salon, but in real time. And I'm like, well, yeah. And then it turned out she was wrong about that, because Karen said, I kissed him on the cheek. He didn't kiss me. But then, Andy checks in. Is like, look, I know you're going through something right now, but we got a meeting coming up. So there's that. All right. So we go, oh, damn, I just went through most of the episode already. Wow, damn, that's it. The final scene to talk about. Okay, so before that, we go over to it's like a little cafe dining area. And, Pam is sitting in the corner and notices Aaron on the phone. Aaron is clearly talking to Jennifer. Remember the crazy chick calling him John that was outside of the salon? Yeah, he's definitely on the phone with her, and she was supposed to come over so they can meet up and talk. So basically, because, Karen tripping, she's still hung up on Zach. let me try to make things right with this other girl. And I'm willing to bet that he didn't even, file a restraining order against her. But regardless, Pam was just being nosy, and Aaron is venting to her. I ship these two hard, Pam and Aaron for life. So then from there, he calls Jennifer to make other arrangements, and Pam's like, "I want to follow you, folks. Just put it together. Just Pam and Aaron, just do it. Just like Tamara and Hayden. So he will just be out of the picture. Just do it. These two need to hook up." Then the final scene to talk about is simply put, and ironically enough, the video I recorded prior to recording this video was me talking about this scene. Mrs. Roberta Porter is a new client of Andy's who's trying to get a divorce from her husband. And simply put, and it's like I said in the video where I talked about this scene, if you haven't been watching Sisters because you don't like the writing, because you don't like the way that Zach is seemingly going back to Karen and just more Zatima drama, and you haven't watched it for weeks and you only watch recaps from either myself, Ashley Miller, or a number of other content creators, please, I urge you, check out Sisters Season 6, Episode 7, Mending Fences, this particular episode. Watch the last 8 minutes of the episode. Just watch the last 8 minutes of the episode when Miss Porter comes in here and she tells Fatima and Andy about her whole story, how she ended up meeting this man, a black doctor, and what led up to why she wants a divorce now. The acting was phenomenal. Just great. I think Sherry Richards is the name of the actress. Definitely gave off Whoopi Goldberg vibes, just the way, she was communicating with her body as well as, her dialogue. And just the nonverbal cues from Fatima and Andy were just on point. Because the crazy thing is, Roberta's entire story with this man is basically beat by beat Andy's relationship with Gary, Andy's history with Gary. We actually met and started, seeing each other while he was still married. He claimed he was going to get a divorce. The sex was amazing. Yet, even after the divorce, I had to deal with his crazy ex-wife. Jasmine, anyone? Then she goes on telling the story about how, even after we got together, well, it turns out, aside from his ex-wife, there was a crazy ex that he was kind of going back and forth with in terms of his feelings. Karen, anyone? And I'm just sitting here like, dang. She is literally who Fatima and or Andy could become in the future. My husband's over 60 years old. I'm going to be 60 soon myself. And I don't want you two ending up like me. And it's kind of funny because, Andy opened the scene with her dialogue like she did with Jasmine. It's like, first things first, I'm glad to meet you, but under these circumstances, I'm sorry because divorces are hard, I know. And Roberta's like, excuse me, child, are you married? No. Then, okay, let me tell you something. Because, yeah, divorces are, hard, but it's like, hey, you haven't been married. And not to mention, you haven't been divorced either. This shit's going to be hard. It's going to be real. So she just breaks it down like, eventually me and my husband, we just fell out of love and we decided to just stay together regardless. And we both had fun, essentially meaning that, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the correct term an open marriage where it's like you and your partner are still married, but you're free to have fun with other people? But I guess you could say that her husband was having a little bit too much fun because one day he came in the house saying, you know what, I want to get married to this young girl who's like 22 years old. And that's pretty much her going, you know what? Nope, I want everything. And I'm like, is it really fair to say I want a divorce and I want to take everything? Because, well, you're the one that chose to stay in this loveless marriage for essentially your image. I mean, she even said like her and her husband are together, but not even their children know that, they're pretty much just open and gallivanting around with whoever, they choose. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks. You're almost 60 and you're wondering what's going on. But I am glad Roberta pretty much called herself out. It's like, you know what? This is karma. This is what I get because I was messing around with this man when he was married to his other wife. So, you know what? It's kind of on me. And I'm just like, yeah, that's true. But overall, I really do feel like this scene was phenomenal. But from there, you know, after she leaves, Fatima starts breaking down because, oh my God, that's going to be me. Look, give me this ring, because, you know, she wants to give Zach the ring back. Andy's trying to talk some sense into her. Like early in the episode, look, Fatima, please just talk to Zach before you do anything. And there goes Fatima again, just kind of like, you know, telegraphing and, oh, because this woman's marriage failed and mine's going to fail too before it even happens. And I'm like, well, you are looking at a lot of similarities there, but look at some things differently. Unlike Roberta, you didn't pull an Andy and start messing around with Zach while he was in a relationship or married to someone else. At this point, Karen was done with Zach and with Aaron. So just look at the positives, and I hope Fatima truly has a moment where she simply talks to Zach, as opposed to having these emotional outbursts and deciding, oh, because this person's relationship didn't work, neither did mine. And also Zach kind of treating the whole kiss on the cheek thing like it was nothing. I'm like, you shouldn't have been letting her kiss you anyway. But regardless, pretty solid episode. Like I said, I will watch it a few more times before next week because it was that good. And the promo for next week looks fire as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of Mending Fences? As always, I'm ready to read your comments once you leave them on the video here. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.